Imagine going through the kind of pain that doesn't just visit and leave. It settles in. A betrayal that cracks your sense of trust. A loss that makes breathing feel like work. A heartbreak that doesn't just break your heart, but rewrites your story. And in the midst of this internal earthquake, people around you, well-meaning and kind, say the same old thing, just give it time. Time heals all wounds. It sounds poetic, almost sacred, as if all you need is to sit still, flip enough pages on the calendar, and one day you'll wake up brand new. But if that were true, why are so many people decades into adulthood still carrying the same emotional bruises from a comment their parent made when they were 10? Why do some wounds from a breakup 10 years ago still sting when the right song plays? The truth is hard but necessary. Time doesn't heal you, you heal you. The problem starts with a lie we've all been sold, the idea that healing is passive, that it's something that just happens as long as we're patient. We treat healing like aging, automatic, guaranteed, out of our control. But emotional wounds don't function like scraped knees. They don't scab over and vanish. They're psychological, spiritual, layered in memory and meaning. And no clock on earth can undo what your mind continues to revisit. Imagine someone who breaks a leg and insists on ignoring it, refusing medical attention, a cast, or any sort of therapy. They just lie on the couch for 6 months and hope time alone will do the job. You'd think they were delusional. Yet that's exactly how we treat our emotional injuries, bury them, ignore them, then feel surprised when they resurface stronger and more painful than before. What most of us do instead is treat the symptoms, not the actual wound. You're grieving a relationship, so you bury yourself in work. You've been betrayed, so you dive into productivity or perfectionism or shopping or sex or Netflix or alcohol, whatever is easily accessible. On the surface, you look driven, disciplined, maybe even impressive, but internally, you're starving for something more nourishing. It's like being parched and deciding to eat salty chips to feel better. You might feel temporarily full, but the thirst deepens. Distraction doesn't heal, it delays, and delay turns into denial. This illusion of progress can be dangerously deceptive. Sometimes the distractions even bring visible rewards, the raise, the praise, the admiration. But success doesn't silence sorrow. It can camouflage it for a while, sure, but the moment life slows down, when the crowd goes home, the inbox quiets, and you're left alone with yourself, what's buried comes back. And it doesn't just whisper, it roars. That's when you realize you haven't been healing, you've been hiding. So why do we keep avoiding the real work? The simple answer, it's hard. We live in a world that craves ease and avoids discomfort at all costs. We have apps to deliver food in minutes, algorithms to curate joy, and filters to erase flaws. So when something emotionally heavy shows up, we run not out of weakness but out of habit. We choose anything that helps us escape the stillness. But that stillness, the quiet place where the pain lives, that's where the real work begins. And real healing, it's not glamorous. It won't get you likes or retweets. It's not a spa weekend or a spiritual retreat with perfectly lit selfies. Healing is gritty and slow and invisible. It's crying while journaling. It's dragging yourself to therapy when all you want is to disappear. It's learning to forgive people who never apologized, not because they deserve peace, but because you do. It's walking in the park when your body wants to stay in bed. It's breathing through the discomfort of not knowing who you are anymore after a loss. It's saying no, setting boundaries, standing up for your pain instead of performing strength. And above all, healing is choosing to stay. Stay with the pain. Stay with the questions, stay awake instead of checking out. That's where the myth of time begins to unravel. Time can't heal what you refuse to feel. You can wait years and still be in the exact same place emotionally if you never face the wound. It's not the passing days that do the healing, it's what you do in those days. Whether you avoid or confront, whether you numb or nurture, avoidance is the soil in which pain grows deeper roots. That's why someone who was bullied at 13 can still flinch at criticism at 43. That's why unresolved grief can harden into cynicism. That's why a successful entrepreneur can crumble in private when an old trigger resurfaces. Because healing isn't about forgetting, it's about processing. And yet in American culture especially, we equate resilience with moving on. We glamorize people who bounce back, hustle harder, put on a brave face. But rarely do we honor the courage it takes to pause, to admit pain, to process grief fully. We tell people to let go but never teach them how. We say don't let it affect you, but we don't help them figure out what to do with the hurt. So we end up with a generation of high-functioning adults who never learned emotional literacy, who mistake productivity for healing, who confuse silence with strength. The longer we ignore the wound, the more it shapes our lives. It seeps into our relationships, our careers, our identities. We become reactive, cold, people-pleasing, rageful, not because we're flawed, but because we're wounded. And the worst part, the world rewards the mask. You'll be applauded for your work ethic. You'll be celebrated for your achievements. No one will ask if you're okay. That's not their job, it's yours, so what actually helps? Healing is personal, but there are universal patterns. It begins with awareness. You can't change what you won't acknowledge. You have to feel it to heal it. Emotions that are suppressed don't die, they wait. Healing requires safety, safe spaces, safe people, safe language. It demands consistency more than intensity. You don't need a breakthrough, you need daily practices. And most importantly, you need permission. Permission to cry, permission to rest. Permission to grieve even if no one else thinks your pain is valid. Permission to move at your own pace. For you, healing might look like finally saying out loud what happened to you. It might mean cutting ties with someone toxic. It might mean slowing down your work schedule because you've been using it to avoid your life. It might mean telling yourself the truth, I'm not fine, and that's okay. Healing is not linear. It will feel like progress one day and regression the next. You might feel like you're getting worse when you're actually just getting honest. But honesty is the first sign that you've stopped avoiding and started living. If you're still hurting, it doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're human. Pain is not a defect, it's a signal. It's your psyche saying something here needs your care. The people who heal are not the toughest. They're the ones willing to look inside, to sit in the mess, to walk through the storm instead of pretending it's sunny. So please, stop waiting for time to fix what only you can. Time is a container. What matters is what you put inside it. Fill it with truth, with effort, with intentional care. You don't need to be healed by next week. You just need to be present this week. Because when you stop outsourcing your healing to time and start owning it as your responsibility, something shifts. Something softens, something begins. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to try, to show up, to feel. That's what healing actually looks like. You're not broken because it still hurts. You're not behind because you haven't moved on. You're not failing because some days you're still angry or sad or numb. You're human, and humans don't heal on autopilot. They heal on purpose. Time isn't the healer, you are. I hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the like button. It might seem like a small thing, but because of how the YouTube algorithm works, videos with more likes tend to get shown to more people. So your like really helps this video reach others who might need it too. And if you find my content valuable, consider subscribing. It really helps more people discover it. Thanks for watching, and I wish you and your family good health and peace. See you in the next video.